We love horror movies from the 70s and 80s, and we watch them for 2 days straight, and then we go write a book. Now we're looking back at every title, one at a time, in this podcast that we put out monthly. Once we've had an episode for every movie, it's time to meet up for another Shock Marathon. Oh yeah, the red record button is red, which means it's time for another exciting edition of the ShockMarathons Podcast. I am Matt Farley here with Tom Scalzo.
Hello.
And Charlie Roxburgh.
Greetings.
And it being December, why not tackle a Christmas-themed horror movie? There's plenty of them, and this one is called Christmas Evil. We're going to get right into this one. Starts Christmas Eve, 1947. Mom and the kids are watching as Santa appears in the fireplace. He kind of hovers down. And he enjoys a bit of the food. They have quite a spread for Santa.
He's got like caviar, he's pouring himself some tea. It's a whole thing.
It's more than the typical milk and cookies.
Do you guys think that his hovering, which you mentioned, is meant to be the kid's interpretation of his wonderful abilities, or that there's like a hint of some magic?
There's definitely a hint of magic.
There's two moments of magic in the movie, and they open and close the movie, and they're hard to reckon with.
Yeah, just to reckon with, because you're thinking like, hey, this is a different guy who has magic, and did the filmmakers just want to have him go back up the chimney and didn't really know how to do it in a way that was cool to watch? I don't know. It's good, but that's part of the fun of this movie to wrestle with these things.
So weird. So he levitate. Then he does his thing, and then he levitates up the chimney. There's no he's not climbing.
There's a musical cue too, I think.
Yeah.
So
and then like the children like disappear. It's like the whole sequence is he levitates up the chimney, and then the children that were on the stairs disappear.
They're immediately
It's just
gone.
like the scene in
Cage Terror.
Cage Terror, yeah. They're just gone immediately.
So now up in the bedroom, the two kids, Harry and, is it Bill or Phil?
Phil.
Tom? Phil, okay. I had it as Bill the whole movie until the very end, and then I'm like, oh, wait, he's Phil. So Harry and Phil are discussing whether that was their dad or Santa Claus. Then Harry goes downstairs and sees Mom and Santa getting intimate by the tree. So naturally he runs up into the attic, smashes a snow globe while replaying the scene that he just saw in his head. Cuts his hand with the glass from the snow globe.
Mm-hmm.
Little blood starts flowing, and that blood overwhelms the screen, and it's opening credits for Christmas Evil. Written and directed by Lewis Jackson. Do either of you know anything about this man? It seems like a labor of love.
Yes, I think it's a labor of love. I went to a screening of it in the theaters in Los Angeles, and he attended, and he did seem to be really like proud of the movie, rightly so. And so yes, I'm going to say I have personal experience, and I said that I liked his movie to him.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I think they cover it in the regional horror book, right, Charlie? And they have an interview with him, and he definitely seems like he was not just trying to throw something together to make some money. He was actually, trying to do something worthwhile.
Totally.
Heck yeah. This movie was much more involved and well done than I remembered it. All I remembered was Harry talking like an idiot. There's a lot more going on. It's
Yes.
While watching it, I was like, this is Taxi Driver as a Santa Claus. And I Googled Taxi Driver and Christmas Evil. Turns out other people have made this comparison, but it's
including me. I thought you were gonna say that my review came up.
I didn't even realize you said that too.
In the book, yeah.
Sorry, I haven't read it in a long time. It's totally Taxi Driver as Santa. So after the opening credits, it's the present day. Harry is sleeping in a Santa suit. He's got Santa decor all over the house. puts on some shaving cream, and puts a lot of it on. I think he's trying to look like Santa with a white beard. Is that what's going on there, Tom?
I can only assume so, yes.
He cuts his finger on the razor, which reminds him of the time he cut his finger as a child, which is a bit of a stretch, the whole finger cutting thing, that they kind of just stop after a few, halfway through the movie. They're like, forget about this trigger.
Yeah.
After trying on a Santa beard, now he's on the roof of his building, dressed in normal clothing, looking through binoculars across the street, determining whether the kids on the other side of the road are naughty or nice. And he sees a couple of nice kids doing nice things, but then he sees Moss Garcia.
Oh,
and
my goodness,
this kid immediately on the naughty list because he's checking out nude photos in a magazine. So that's fun, and it's dark and twisted and weird and creepy. So and the name Moss, Charlie, you love that name, don't you?
Love it. I mean, again, it's another example in this movie of a little added bonus that needn't have been there, but makes it more memorable. And I got to give props to Harry for his scampering around. This is like the first of his scampering around scenes, going up on the roof and like crawling low, and he does it later when he's investigating Moss. But the actor's doing a nice job. He's giving you a lot here, and also with the shaving cream scene, they let his freakouts really run. Did you guys get that feeling watching it again? And like, okay, he's freaking out, and he's still freaking out.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
I did too. I did it only once or twice. Did I think too much? Like they got a good groove going, a good creepy groove with the music and kind of like a little bit of repetition and whatnot, and it worked much more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're at Jolly Dream, the toy factory where he works. Jolly Dreams, is it plural? Not that it matters, Tom.
I think it's Jolly Dream.
Okay, singular. Now let's listen to Harry lecture his coworkers about high-quality toys.
Nobody here is interested in good toys.
That includes me.
Me too. I can understand that. You've never felt the thrill of making a good toy. Now, how could you in this place? But I bet you got kids, right?
2,
5. Don't you understand how useful rigidly constructed toys are? How inspirational? Their value goes way beyond making money.
Any word who's getting laid off in January, Harry?
Laid off? I didn't even know they were considering it.
Oh, right. You don't go to union meetings anymore.
You guys listen to me.
Oh, Harry. Good old Harry. He's so focused on toy. What a lecture. Oh, that is how did this guy get promoted from the assembly line to the offices?
It's ridiculous, but it ties in so nicely with the otherworldliness and the magic and just the inexplicable things that happen in this movie. It's consistently inexplicable in a charming way.
So then another guy, Frank, comes in looking for someone to take his shift. We learn that Harry's recently been promoted, like I just said. But he misses working on the floor. He misses the line, which is fantastic. He'd rather be doing the manual labor.
Too far
down
away
there.
from the toys.
Yeah. Frank mentions that he hates Christmas, which does not sit well with Harry.
Frank.
So later, Frank calls Harry and kind of bullies him into taking Frank's shift on the line. And we get to watch as Harry's putting little motorcycle figurines on the motorcycles, those toys. And when we hear Harry's internal rage as he thinks about how ridiculous it is that Frank complains about working around Christmas, but not about the low-quality products they're forced to make. So, but I got to call out Harry. I mean, Charlie, why is he working there if they're making such garbage?
Yeah, I know. He should have just had his own toy factory or something. I mean, there's no chance that a factory that's making little plastic things cares at all about rigidly constructed toys.
Amen.
Yeah.
So now after work, Harry goes to the Odd Couple Lounge and looks through the window and notices, who's there? Frank, hanging out, bragging about how he bullied Harry into taking the shift. So we're really setting up who are the enemies of Harry? Enemy number one is good old. I guess number one is Moss, and then Frank.
Yeah, and maybe his brother a little bit too.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not really Santa, a naughty nice list, but there's tension.
Poor Phil. Harry goes home and deals with his rage by pacing a lot. Then he returns to the house where he grew up. He watches through the window as his brother Phil and his wife get intimate on the couch, which is a trigger for poor Harry. So.
Yeah, I don't know what he was expecting by going there.
Yeah, what was his goal?
If you wanted to go visit, you go to the door. You don't go to the window and peek inside.
And he's invited multiple times to actually visit. That's the times he doesn't go.
Yeah, and I don't understand. He's traumatized by husband and wife's cuddling.
Hey!
These are not these horrible things that he's witnessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a little too by the book to he witnesses Santa being intimate with mom. It's like, come on, this is bad psychology 101 that I feel has been used by so many horror movies.
It would have worked better if he were upset about a Santa who wasn't doing the job of a pleasant Santa and helping kids, because his whole thing is he wants to make Christmas the best and as good as possible.
Yeah, it's a bit inconsistent right there.
Right.
So then Harry goes home. Harry's home. He's eating cereal, watching a parade on TV. I guess it's the next morning because back at Phil's house, Phil's doing push-ups while the woman comes out of the bathroom and disrobes for him. And she won't get intimate with him again until he promises to be nice to Harry this Christmas. So that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Harry calls to cancel his plans for dinner with Phil. And the conversation comes to a standstill when Santa appears on the TV. Everything stops. Harry is just obsessed. So next scene, Harry works on his Santa costume a bit more. What I just mentioned, that's where it's that creepy hypnotic scene with the good music and just kind of it's really creepy. Taxi driver and good stuff. This is. Did you guys remember how intense this was, Tom?
Not all of it. No, I mean I remembered some of the things we'll talk about later, like with Moss and things like that. But not sitting there watching I think it was the Thanksgiving Day parade. I think that's what he's watching, and the intensity of his. Because you got to think of that, the timing. This is a month of planning going on. With his obsession and his rage is boiling for a month.
Yeah, it's real. It's a dark character study.
Yeah.
The music's great, like you keep saying, but it's better than I remembered. It's really it flows nicely, and the pacing is not forced.
I was expecting a much more cartoonish movie. That's what I remembered. So what a pleasant surprise at times. Although cartoonish is good too. So Harry walks home with groceries. He sees Susie and Richie and the kids. He tells Susie she looks beautiful, and she curtsies to him, which is the best, awesome. One of the best moments in the movie.
She's great.
They all discuss their wishes, which are all nice, benign wishes, until Moss interjects and says that he wants a lifetime subscription to Penthouse. So just more evidence, Moss. More evidence for Moss to be on the naughty list. So Harry goes home and reads the list of bad things that Moss is guilty of, and it's a long one. So then he sneaks out at night to Moss's house, watches him through the window. He puts mud on his face and his hands, and it leaves an imprint of his face and hands on the outside of the house. Charlie, why?
I think it's a thing that demented Santas do, and he just was in touch with that. No, I don't know. It's crazy.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just done his hands and left a mark to be like, I'm here. He could have, to let him know that, to let Moss know that he's watching, but he doesn't really achieve it with that. And the face thing, is really weird. It's more of a punishment to himself.
Yeah, he's all muddy.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know. It's amazing. It made me think, I guess they had to have it planned. It almost seems like a thing an actor would do as an improv, but of course you would have had to have mud at the ready there.
Yeah, it seems planned, but it's real weird. Like, then you see it later in the movie. Did they do it just because they were like, wait, what if people don't know what house this is? Like, let's have him do this, so then they'll know when he comes back it's the same house.
Wouldn't that be so elaborate and great? I don't know. There's
Something
probably
I'd
a number
do.
of things,
Yeah.
but that's a good thing about this movie is it just kind of is very organic and not everything seems super planned within an inch of its life.
So he hides in the bushes as Moss and his mom walk out to the car. Moss notices something in the bushes. He approaches as his mom keeps yelling at him to get into the car. And as he gets close, Harry lurches out at him and freaks him out. Mom doesn't believe Moss, and they drive off. It's a pretty effective scene. And it shows how demented Harry is, that he has no sympathy for Moss, because like you almost feel that he'd watch this and see that Moss's mom is not very involved and that Harry would feel bad, but Tom, no sympathy.
No sympathy, and I don't get. It's like kind of what Charlie was hinting at. Like, I don't get what Harry's trying to accomplish. Like, if he was like dressed in his, his hat and beard and stuff, maybe he'd be sending some sort of a message. But this is just like, Moss is not connecting this fear with being bad.
Yeah, nothing has been accomplished. It's a good point. The scene is completely unnecessary, but
he's not going to like start being a better kid now because somebody scared him in the bushes.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
So now
it's an effective scene, but it's confusing how it fits into the Harry's goals.
It totally doesn't. It totally doesn't. So, back to Jolly Dreams. Harry's in the locker room getting ready for the Christmas party. I feel there are more locker rooms in movies and workplace movies than there are in actual workplaces. Do you guys concur?
I mean, I had a locker room in some places that I worked.
All right. Well, hey, Charlie.
It's possible.
Charlie, you ever have a locker room?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think with the locker room thing, they were probably more prevalent in the 60s and the 70s.
Okay.
I was also gonna say I get a nice the pit feeling from the spying on Moss and just like very low level in the neighborhood kind of stuff. It's like Jamie spying on the librarian and sneaking around.
In plain sight.
In plain sight, in a very small town, simplistic way that's not really scary, but it's delightful and quirky and weird, and that's all good stuff.
So it's the office Christmas party, and let's listen to Harry ramble to his coworkers about finding the right notes, and then the boss is going to show up to introduce a new team member.
I said, forget it. I got you guys' number now.
What do you mean?
The right tune. I've been trying to find the notes to it for as long as I can remember. Well, I found them. I can play the tune now.
I'll tell you, Harry. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Hey, good to see you again. Hello, you're Ben, isn't it?
Yeah.
Harry, I want you to meet the newest member of the team. This is George Gross.
Hi.
George is a real bright boy in our executive training program. George and his wife are spending Christmas on the island with me. Wiseman wants him to have the grand tour, midnight mass and all that.
Hey, Harry, finish telling me about your tune.
Oh, you sing too, Harry?
Not exactly.
See you around.
So Harry is just completely nuts with this talking about the tune. I mean, and it's a little, it's not even funny. It's quite disturbing to hear him just talk so plainly about this note and tune that it's never really explained. Is it, Tom?
I don't get it. I was really trying to. I remember that from the first time. That we wrote song about it.
Yes.
But I don't understand what he's talking about. I don't. Maybe there's some underlying logic that Lewis Jackson knows that we don't, but I just don't get it.
But it works in that Harry is just completely unhinged and nuts, and it does come across like. I don't think there needs to be a meaning to it. It's just this guy is crazy, Charlie.
Right. as something that a person might have, a crazy person would have worked out in their head as a way that they think about things. And the tune is just like the perfect Christmas or something, and as a overarching perfect Christmas, that's what he wants to achieve. Because later when he says no one likes my tune, when he was trying to just do these insane gift givings but I like it. Like you guys have been saying, it's a little weird, it's a little not explained, and it's kind of creepy and unique to this movie.
So Harry is upset because the company claims to be running some kind of fundraising effort for kids in they're like hospitalized disabled kids, and and Harry senses that they're not really into it. They're very vague about how much is really being given to the kids. And the workers are kind of being guilted into donating themselves, which, so all those things are making Harry mad. So, he argues with the boss and the new team member about the ethics of that campaign. And also mentions more tunes and notes, too, just which is great.
It's great. I don't know how he got promoted. Like, he's clearly crazy. His boss is like telling him about this new initiative, and he's basically like telling him it's terrible and insulting him to his face.
And talking about music notes for some reason. Yeah.
The boss
That's
likes
great.
it, and he's not related to
it.
Harry or anything.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
he just shakes it off.
they saw Harry on the floor, putting toys together. Like, that guy, that guy is front office material.
The idea that a company this small even has an executive training program is it's wonderfully cartoony. It's like something we would put in a movie. It's like just this broad strokes kind of thing that never in the real world would exist. But wouldn't it be great if it did?
Yes, Tom.
One other little thing about that scene that I didn't even notice until you just played it is they mention that they're on an island.
Yeah. Is it Manhattan? Where are they?
They just mean the fancy parts of Long Island, like that are on the north. Yeah.
All right. So they're on Long Island somewhere, Charlie?
Yeah, like the part of Long Island in North by Northwest where he gets dragged at the beginning, and then they try to fake the drunk driving thing. Like those towns over there, I forget what they're all called, but it's close enough to commute to Manhattan, and I'm pretty sure that's what they mean.
All right. Harry then goes into the factory, fills some toys into a bag, and then he goes out and fills some bags with dirt. Did I see that right, guys?
Yeah, there's some digging involved.
I have no idea. Like, did that ever come back for anything?
I don't know. Maybe if he needed more mud mask in the future, it just didn't pan out.
I think wasn't he taking the toys from his work?
Oh, so was he replacing the boxes with dirt so they wouldn't know they were missing things?
That's what I thought.
Okay, that you got to really reach to get there. Though. They don't give that to you. You got to really extrapolate.
Dirt for toys. Yeah.
He giggles and cries maniacally while putting on a Santa beard and staring at himself in the mirror, which is
that is the best. When he glues his beard on, it's like 2 straight minutes of him laughing at himself and tugging on his beard.
And it sort of develops. You can't take your eyes off of it because you're like, okay, he's enchanted that it's really stuck there. And then he pulls again. He's like, it's still stuck on my face. I'm so happy. I don't know why he didn't just think of that earlier. It wasn't that expensive to buy like the spirit gum or whatever and stick it on his face. But yeah, it just keeps going. It's like one of those funny, it's like a joke in Austin Powers where they just keep trying it, to see if it can go one more time. They just let it go one more maniacal laugh round and then one more. And
I didn't mind.
Works.
It worked.
No,
totally
it
worked.
It's fantastic.
So now we're told by the text on the screen that it's Christmas Eve. Harry's in a house dressed as Santa. He uses a long, sharp knife to cut open the bag holding gifts. He spreads the gifts under the tree. Where is he? I don't know. Where is he?
He's at his brother's house, I think.
Okay, so he just popped in, left some gifts, and then left. Then he goes to Moss's house.
And there might even be something about he's replacing toys or something. He's like taking out the cheap ones, or
there's a lot of extrapolating.
He's opening stuff up.
He's opening some, yeah.
Okay, he's doing something there. So next,
and he also made. Remember, I'm sorry to cut you off, but remember we didn't mention this. He's actually pouring molten metal in his room at one point. Making some rigid toys, which I think are the soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that comes into play later, but it is pretty funny. I wonder how long it would take to actually make a toy that way that he's doing with the molten silver.
It's the most expensive toy ever.
Next, he's at Moss's house, and we know because he passes the imprint that he left on the wall outside, which is real funny to think like the family saw that and they're just like, whatever. They didn't wash it off or anything. Like, oh, well, okay. And he leaves a note for Moss. Do we see the note? Does it just say like, you're no good, you're a jerk or something? I don't even remember. Tom? It's all right. Don't worry about it.
It just has a funny picture on the front, and I don't know who of whom the caricature is meant to be, but it never pans out, right?
I would say it's a loose end.
Yeah.
And we'll let it go though. So he goes to the hospital where the disabled kids are living. There's an old security guard who tells him to scram, but Harry sweet talks him. Mind you, listeners, Harry is fully decked out in a Santa Claus outfit, with the beard that wonderfully sticks to his face. I mean, head to toe, he is Santa. This is he spared no expense in the costume, and this is how he's dressed for the rest of the movie. So he sweet talks the guy, gives him a present, and the guard says, "All right, wait here." Which is awesome. The old guard, It's
who actually thought about drawing his gun at one point, which was a little over the top, but great anyway.
Motorcycle racer.
A doctor and a nurse come out. Harry shows them that the entire van is filled with wrapped toys. I mean, packed with toys. Everyone is super happy and grateful. Harry laughs maniacally. At first it's just a ho ho ho, but soon it's just like, whoa, this guy is going all the way. He's wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. The whole staff is just swept up in the spirit, though. They're howling, Merry Christmas. All these doctors and nurses, they're so happy. No one is questioning who this guy is, where he's coming from, why he's doing this. You're just like, oh, a man in a Santa outfit is giving us stuff. And they're not just grateful. They're children again, Charlie.
Yeah, doesn't one of the ladies give him a hug and a kiss, I think, like a peck on the cheek, and the joy level for them is like our joy level watching it, because at this point, this is like one of the early moments where it's just starting to like go through the roof with laughter and joy and Christmas spirit. Yes.
So now Harry goes to a church where, correct me if I'm wrong, but the boss and his new underling are at that mass. Is that correct, Tom?
Correct.
So that's why he's there. He's waiting for them so he can kill them. But he first encounters a couple of unusually mean churchgoers who they just came out of church and they see a guy dressed as Santa and listen to what they say. Hang on, sorry. Bad job by me.
Well, Santa, you look ready for a busy night.
Come now, Charles, a little respect. Seriously, Santa Claus, will you tell our viewers that you just arrived? How was the trip down? Oh, and I see you've given up your reindeer for more modern wheels.
And the suit, too.
Oh, excellent. Just ravishing.
Who does that tailoring? Come now, Santa.
Haven't you had enough?
I have something for you.
I have superlative taste.
What is going these people, first off, they speak with this like strange like accent
from the 20s.
Yeah. And with so much sarcasm in their voice. It's unbelievable.
Charlie, what is going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're like preppies. Maybe that's not the right word for it. They're the landed, they're the rich jet setters, and everything that Harry is not. And it's just cartoony fun. It's over the top, insane clash. Unbelievable that it was written into the script this way, though. That he doesn't kill right there the guy he intends. They're like, well, what if some other jerks accost him at the foot of the stairs who we've never met before, and with whom he doesn't have a specific battle, really. It's just a general, you're a rich jerk, I'll stab you in the eye with a toy I made. It's great though. I wasn't expecting it. Why not? It's cartoony. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's a little over the top. Like, they just got out of church and they're just gleefully mean to some guy because he's dressed as Santa. Like, come on. But I'll let it go. So, yeah, he kills 3 of them. He chops them up with an axe after sticking one of those sharp toys in the guy's eye.
It's pretty dark.
Pretty dark stuff. Everyone's freaking out. He jumps in the van, drives away, pulls over, rests for a bit, but then he hears the sound of a Christmas party. So he approaches the building. Inside are a bunch of just wholesome people dancing around. It warms Harry's heart. He sees children sleeping in the corner, and he's just like, children sleeping because they should be sleeping, and it's the right thing for them to do. A man sees Harry through the window. He invites him in. Harry's a little reluctant, but he goes in, and he is received unbelievably well. It's the polar opposite of what he experienced outside of the church. A pretty woman offers him a beverage. The kids all wake up and surround him. Meanwhile, all the churchgoers are giving their report of what they witnessed, and one of the detectives quips, "Let me guess, everybody saw Santa Claus?" And these cops are barely in it, but every time they're in it, they're just total cliches and just like the cops in the pit a little bit, only not as local and likable, right, Charlie?
Yeah, these guys are a little tougher.
It's
funny with this party, which is of course one of our favorite moments, but it's almost like Harry found his perfect Christmas right there.
Yes.
The movie almost could have ended. I wasn't thinking about that till now, but the children come to him and are appreciative and well-behaved. All of the people are respectful to Christmas. They invite in a stranger. They worship Santa, even when they don't know, and they don't know the guy inside, and it could be creepy, but they don't care. They're just like the traditions.
Mm-hmm.
They let Santa have the floor.
Yeah. And he dances.
Everything about it. Yeah, and the dancing.
He dances to the Jingle Bells polka. And
how they danced. Yeah.
And it is so wonderful. And then Harry, does what he does best. He makes a heartwarming speech that I'm going to play for you guys right now.
I really must go now. But now, I want you to remember to stay good boys and girls. Respect your mothers and fathers and do what they tell you. Obey your teachers and learn a whole lot. Now, if you do this, I'll make sure you get good presents from me every year. But if you're bad boys and girls, your name goes in the bad boys and girls book. And I'll bring you something horrible.
They do have a few cutaways to audience members who kind of feel a bit uneasy. They're like, wait, what?
Maybe we shouldn't have brought this guy in.
Yeah. But, I mean, that is believably insane. Like, I believe some people are that crazy, just exactly that crazy. And it's weird and disturbing and funny and crazy all at once. So it's a great moment. Great speech right there.
it's a little weird for Harry almost because he's sort of he's realistic about the fact that they do go in the list and that they won't get something good. I don't know why he chuckles so much unless he's sort of covering for himself. But there's a lot of levels there. It's pretty fantastic, and the adults, the cutaways really sell it too. Nice scene.
Yeah, nice scene, especially dancing to Jingle Bells, the polka. That's a great moment. Wow, you need that in a movie. That when it comes to dance sequences in a movie, like one of the best ever. Way better than Prom Night, I should say. I will say.
Yeah, it's close to Capture Bigfoot when the guy in the crutches is dancing.
I was thinking just that. It's so funny you brought it up. So now Harry goes to a house, uses a ladder to get on the roof. He tries to get in the chimney, but he gets stuck. And then he gets out of the chimney and then goes through the basement window. He's successful. So after that, he goes up the stairs to the living room. What?
Before you move on, right?
Okay.
Isn't it unbelievably nice that there's a scene where he fails in trying to go down the chimney, and it's like in the movie, it's just like
that's great.
It's a delightful little touch.
It's so unnecessary. You're right.
It's unnecessary, but it's also like his dream to be Santa is getting a little bit foiled. What were you gonna say, Tom?
No, I think what you were saying. I think it is necessary because he's trying to do the things like that he thinks should be done.
You're right.
And they don't work. So then he's got these backup plans, and like, yeah, when things don't work, that's when he starts like killing people. But it's almost like if people were just if the world would just conform to his vision of things,
then he wouldn't kill anybody.
You'd be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, like the stepfather.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so then he goes to the basement, up the stairs, making a bit of a racket. This scene's a little drawn out. I'll have to admit. He put some gifts under the tree. A kid sneaks down the hall to see what's going on. Then Harry works his way to the bedroom, and in the bedroom is Frank. That's the boss that he's mad at. So he smothers him with a bag of presents. Somehow the wife is sleeping through all this. There's like a major fight and struggling galore.
That's the guy who made him work his shift, I think.
Okay, Frank. Right,
unless
you're right.
I'm wrong.
Oh
yeah.
no, I'm sure you're right. Yeah,
Pretty
so
sure
it's the guy who took his shift. Yeah, Okay.
I was in the bar laughing at Harry.
Yeah, good call. Harry finishes him off by slicing his neck with a tree ornament star that he just happens to grab, and that finally wakes up the wife. As Harry runs away, the two kids see Santa. They share a happy moment before the screams of their mother ruin it. So
Frank has a Christmas tree in his bedroom.
Yeah, he's very spirited. Yeah, turns out he does love Christmas.
And it's I guess like for slasher people, they pay attention to the deaths. They do have Christmas themed death in this. He tries to smother with the bag of toys, and then he's like, "Let me go do another Christmas thing." Sharp star ornament right across the neck. So you do get killing by Christmas accoutrement. Sorry.
So now the text on the screen tells us that it is now Christmas Day. Phil is sad that Harry hasn't come over on Christmas morning like he always does. There must be something wrong. They watch a news report warning everyone to stay away from anyone dressed as Santa, which that's a great news report, huh, Tom?
Yeah, I love you can kind of see what's coming, and they let the kids watch it. Like the kids are like immediately traumatized, but they're like they don't even pay attention to the kids' reaction. They're like, "Oh, I wonder if that's Harry." They're not very attentive parents, I guess.
Yeah, they have so many moments where they could shut off the TV, but they miss every one. So now we're going to listen to Phil explaining the difficult relationship that he's had with Harry. This is right after he's yelled at his son to turn down the TV.
My brother is an emotional cripple. I'm his keeper, responsible for everything he does. Dennis, I'm sorry I yelled at you. Daddy's not feeling so good.
It's okay.
All right, so I don't know about Phil. I don't like him very much. You, Tom?
Not really. I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, Harry seems like he's actually pretty self-sufficient. You know, he's obviously a little off, and he's much more off now than he probably was at the beginning of the movie. But it's not like Phil has to take care of him.
Yeah,
like
he's got a job. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not as, you know, he's maybe not emotionally stable, but he's not, up until now, he's not bothering anybody.
I agree. All right, so Harry wakes up in his van, then he goes into the factory. He's disgusted with all those low-quality toys, so he snaps a couple planes in half, which is great. He turns on the assembly line. Then we get to watch a lineup. We cut to the police station. There's a lineup of Santas. They're all forced to say Merry Christmas with feeling.
It's almost like a Don't Open Till Christmas scene here in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got that hard detective feel that just doesn't fit in the movie and isn't very fun to watch. The two detectives discuss the origin of the Santa Claus myth, which unnecessary and uninteresting. One of them suggests that perhaps this turn of events will frighten children into being less entitled. So there's a silver lining to this rampage.
What an interesting thought to bring up, for him and for the
writers.
Yeah. Maybe this isn't so bad.
And then one of them starts singing "Santa Claus is Coming to Town." That's rough. That's hard to take all that. That's a lot going on right there.
Can I say one thing though?
Yes.
That song does play throughout, and a couple times it plays kind of nicely because when Harry hears it, and I think he hums it, but because they also known as is "You Better Watch Out," so every now and again you do hear "You Better Watch Out," "You Better Not Cry," and I think "You Better Watch Out" was the preferred title that Lewis Jackson favored, but distributor wanted Christmas Evil, I guess. Both good titles.
Yeah. Two for
I actually watched the Blu-ray, and "You Better Watch Out" is the on-screen title.
Oh, cool. That's interesting. Phil gets a call from Harry. His wife tries to join the call, but Phil yells at her and she hangs up. Let's listen to these two tormented brothers have a little conversation.
Me.
Is it about Harry?
Get off the phone. Harry, you still there? Where are you?
You always worry about me, don't you, Phil?
I waited all day to hear from you. I'm sick to my stomach.
But, Phil, you should be proud of me.
Why?
I did what you've always wanted me to do. I finally found the right note. I can play the tune now.
What tune?
The tune everybody dances to. Even you, Phil. It's my version. But it works.
Harry, I'm sorry. You don't want to tell me where you are, don't tell me. But when you do come over here, we're going to have this out once and for all.
You see, the difference between us was I always remembered everything.
What don't I remember? Just tell me what... No, you're not going to make me feel guilty no more.
No, Phil. I read a poem once that said, every day you shave, you see yourself one day closer to dying.
What are you saying?
All right, it goes on, but you get the point. Harry is nuts, and Phil's just trying to deal with it. More talk of tune and notes also a little later. So it's nighttime now. Harry's driving around his van. He gets stuck in the snow, so he approaches a home with lots of Christmas lights on display. He looks at the full moon. He works his way down an alley. Did either of you think to yourselves, how did we get from this like suburban house to a downtown alley so quickly?
Yes.
It's like in Halloween 4.
Yes, it feels like they had the rights to film in one area, and then they had the rights to film in another, and they just thought we'll just cut there. And then I thought, how are all these kids in this? Everybody's just kind of like outside in a cold alley
on Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day with unlit torches in their hands, pre-soaked in flammable liquid. But yeah, it's all good. This is a good showdown here.
He happens upon the people. A little girl and some kids have a nice talk with him, but the parents look on in fear. He gives presents to each of them. Then one of the adults approaches with a knife, but the kids surround Santa to protect him. And Harry, he's never going to pass up the chance to make a speech. So, of course, he gives one right here. Let's listen to what he says.
Don't come any closer. These children know things that obviously you don't understand anymore. They love me.
Move away from him.
They want someone to notice who's good or bad. Someone to guide them, someone to take responsibility so they don't have to make those decisions themselves.
I said get away from him or I'll rip your guts out.
No, Dad.
So now, is that the girl who curtsied at the beginning of the movie, who now is fighting her dad?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Good call. Might be.
It looked like her, but
It could be.
it's a great speech. And
Oh, it's great.
the little girl is so in defending Santa that she goes after her dad, who's holding a knife, and then she picks up the knife that gets dropped in the struggle, refuses to give it to Dad. Instead, she gives it to Santa. She's taking sides. Harry struggles briefly with the guy and a few other of the adults before getting away. And then immediately, it's mob rule time, huh, Tom?
It's so ridiculous, but I kind of love it. It's just immediately, light the torches. Let's go find him. Our town can stand this no longer.
It's like they discussed it in the past. Like, if there's ever an evil Santa running around, you want to just quickly form a mob and go after him with torches? Because I want to do that. But did you guys think it was funny too that the main clue was that Santa's white fur was a little dirty on his suit?
Yeah, that's dumb.
I thought that was funny, and it's barely even that dirty. And there's probably plenty of Santas that have shabby costumes.
So yeah, several torches are ignited, and no explanation, but it just gotta go with it. Just gotta go with it. Harry works his way to the van and drives away, goes to his brother's house. Phil is mad. He roughs up Harry a little bit. The kids tell him to stop. Phil tells his wife to get the kids out of there. Harry goes on an insane rant about something Phil said when he was 6. Phil starts strangling Harry, but kind of comes to his senses, but only after Harry's unconscious. So he drags Harry into the van and puts him in the driver's seat and contemplates what to do. But then Harry wakes up, punches Phil in the face, and drives off. There's a helicopter, I believe, overhead. The angry mob is doing what it does. Harry drives off a bridge, and one of the great shocking endings of all time. The van does not go down, it goes up, and it begins flying, much like Santa's sleigh. And we hear Harry say, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Good night." And we are forced to reckon with this. And so the question is, what are we being told?
And the great thing is they don't leave it to, they don't do it was just a dream. They don't do his van was, they don't edit out of it before you really could tell that it's defying gravity. You just have to deal with it.
It's defying, it is definitely defying gravity, but it's not like a rocket ship. But
No, but it's definitely a flying magic van.
Yeah.
It's just slower than a rocket. It's more graceful.
So, what are we to make of this? This is crazy. What is the stance of the movie makers? And I think ultimately, it's just why not? Why not make the van fly? It's a bit inconsistent, except of course for the hovering in the the hovering at the beginning where Santa hovers up the chimney. So it's weird and funny and crazy. And I'll tell you my review. It's a pretty darn good movie, and it's much more of a horror movie than I remembered. Like I said before, I remembered it as cartoonish and silly, and it is at times. And Harry is a over the top character, but he's almost believable most of the time, and quite creepy. And it's effective and creepy. It's a good movie. Not one of the all time greats, but still very good, solid horror movie. Tom.
Yeah, I agree. It's very solid. I love that the it's completely different from like a slasher, like Michael Myers or Jason or something like that, where it's black and white. It's just he's on a rampage. Like Harry is one of the most nuanced killers probably ever. Like you have a lot of sympathy for him, even more so than like Stepfather or people like that. That they're they're similar kind of nuance, and that you can kind of see where they're coming from, kind of thing. Like he is. You root for him. I mean, there's scenes where the children are defending him, and you're kind of on their side in some ways. I mean, that's impressive.
Charlie,
I think he makes the whole thing though. The Brandon Maggart as the Santa. I mean, he manages to pull it all together.
Yeah, great performance. And like you say, that makes the movie. A lesser actor would have made it unbearable at times. Charlie, your review.
Yeah, it feels like they were on the same page, the filmmakers and Brandon Maggart. They just kind of let him do his thing, try some stuff out, really, really be into the character. That doesn't always work, but here it does. I just think that I'm pretty much rooting for him the whole time, no one's really nice to him except for the kids, so that makes you feel like, okay, you know what, the kids can see through somebody who's mean, and he's just he's a charming character, and it's a solid movie. I think in our reviews we just kind of say I was saying how it's not really phoned in, like someone said, hey, I want to make a slasher that's going to make a quick buck. It's kind of like you would have been thinking about this movie for maybe a few years. Kind of said, hey, I really want to make this a movie with Santa and kind of a message about Christmas, and it's going to be like a tour de force acting thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, when it's written and directed by the same guy, that's a good sign usually. It's a good sign that you're going to get something from the heart, and this definitely seems like it was from the heart. There's some inconsistencies. It's not gonna hold up to really close analysis, but it's much better than you expect. Compare it to New Year's Evil, and this is leaps and bounds better. Just a better movie and a better experience. Nothing against New Year's Evil, which is also great, of course. Now, Tom, did you watch bonus material on your disc?
No, I didn't get to that yet, but yeah, the disc has some deleted scenes that I wanted to check out, but I did not have a chance. But it's an interesting. The disc actually has commentary by the director and by John Waters.
Oh, cool.
Who says he loves it.
Yeah. Charlie, did you learn anything from that screening that you can share with us?
Just that, like I was saying, I think the director, once it kind of went through its home video run, he kind of was able to release it later on DVD and then Blu-ray the way that he wanted to more. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about the special features and that stuff because I haven't seen that, but it just seemed like he was proud of it and happy to play it, and that it was shot pretty well. It looks nice on film, and that they tried to do a good job with a lot of it.
If it was a little more suburban and a little less like gritty and downtrodden, I would like it a little more. Like some of the locations are just kind of bleak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. But I mean, on the whole, I feel like the charm of the main guy makes up for a lot of those inconsistencies.
Yeah. And so it's from what early 80s, like 82, 1982?
1980.
1980. So, it feels more 80s than 70s to me, and it probably wasn't a long turnaround between filming and release. I think that my personal opinion. It doesn't feel 70s. Do you get that feeling, Charlie?
Yeah, I agree. There's other movies where you can really, really feel the 70s. There's more folk songs or filmmaking tactics, like more soft focus things, or like Slash Dreams kind of feel. But this feels a little tighter, and the music is less 70s. So I appreciate that.
And you guys have any shock memories you want to share? I mean, mine is really the dance party and Harry's speeches, and so it was good to see those again, and it was surprising to see how bleak and dark the movie was, because I did not remember that. But I mean, it was definitely a movie that stood out to us when we saw it, but it's good to see it with new eyes. Tom?
Yeah. I mean, I remember we immortalized the dance scene with one of Ollie's drawings, I believe. And yeah, in my mind, I remembered that closing scene, where the sleigh van flies off, and so I was thinking it was more kind of lighthearted, like you said, than it is. But it's not at all. There's some moments of levity, but it's pretty dark.
Charlie?
Yeah, for shock memories, well, I totally remembered Moss. I thought it was fun that he has this antagonism with this one kid. It's almost like Shatner in I Love to Kill.
Hey, little girl, you want to ride?
One little girl. It's pretty funny. The Moss boy does a good job. I remember the mud and the factory. Just it has a definite feel to it. I agree that it's bleak, but it's pretty consistent. So if you kind of like stopped it at any scene, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's Christmas Evil. You might feel that the way that the bars look and the way that the cars look and the hospital, all that stuff is very consistent. But it is darker than I remembered, and it's a little better made than I remembered, which is rare.
Yeah. Like literary.
Yeah. And we gave it some awards. Do you have the book open there, Tom?
No, I don't.
Oh, I do. I'll just tell you real quick. So it won Best Director for Shock June.
Wow.
It won Best Villain for Brandon Maggart as Harry. And I think we explained in there, he's more of an anti-hero, but anyway, he got it because we wanted to give him something, and he wasn't probably going to win Best Actor, so we hedged our bets. He was nominated for Best Actor. It was nominated for Best Picture. It was nominated for Best Screenplay.
Yeah.
And it was nominated for Most Morally Casual Woman to Harry's mom for the living room cuddles, which we don't do that anymore, that category, but these were the old days. And we also
it's her husband. It's her husband. I mean, I want to retract that nomination. I mean, give her a break. It was her husband.
That's true. I know. Maybe we were just being funny to ourselves. But there's some good taglines on here that I think Tom listed. One that they used was "He'll slay you," which
that. Yeah.
They use that a lot. There's a lot of puns with these horror Christmas horrors. Better watch out. Better not cry, or you may die.
That's horrible.
Not that catchy. And then there's also "Have yourself a deadly little Christmas."
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, terrible. I understand the Best Director because it's tight. The movie's tight. There's not a lot of fat that needed to be trimmed. So you give him credit for keeping the pace moving forward at all times. You're not getting bored much, and it's well put together. So well deserved Best Director.
Can I ask you guys a plot question before we wrap up?
Yeah.
Do you think that after Phil has choked Harry and put Harry in the van, does he come back to life or, being unconscious through normal health, unconscious symptoms, or is it magic?
He just normally comes back. I mean, Phil did not hurt him that badly, so I think it was just a temporary unconsciousness. I don't think magic involved. Tom?
It was a good choking he gave. Okay, but it was a good choking he gave him. And the way they cut to Phil's face, he was on the cusp of I will kill you.
Yeah. So that's true, yeah.
Are you suggesting that every moment from that point on was actually Harry's experience of the afterlife?
Not really. Just that maybe all of a sudden some like North Pole magic kicked in, and his eyes pop open. And I don't think this is the case, really, but I don't know. I don't know.
We need to dwell on this just a little bit more. The van flies off the bridge, ladies and gentlemen. So if there's no indication that it's a dream or a fantasy, so we are left to understand that Harry does in fact have superpowers, or that he has inherited the abilities of the real Santa Claus or something. I mean, imagine the meetings or the discussions of this scene. What were people saying? Did people pull the guy aside and be like, "Hey, like, what are you saying with this?" Like, what?
And it was shot. The shot is a very wide shot. It's almost like a third-person omniscient kind of shot, you know. So if they had done it like just tight, where Harry was like seeing lights and it was on his face, would make you think it's more maybe in his head or something. But the brother is looking up, clearly seeing the van flying.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's a wide shot. Yeah, the van is flying. It's going. I don't know if it's gonna go all the way to the moon, but maybe it's just gonna go to the North Pole, or I don't know what the ultimate destination. Maybe he's gonna deliver some more toys that night. You know?
Maybe.
It's so weird, Tom.
What if, like, you know, remember the opening scene? Like, his father apparently had some level of magic, right? Because he was able to teleport.
Yes.
And maybe he inherited the magic.
Yeah.
Some magic from his father, you know, and that's
something.
That's just what's
That
happened.
You know, and yeah, wow, what a weird movie, but really compelling. And check it out. Check out Christmas Evil. Last thing, Tom, did it look beautiful on Blu-ray?
Yeah, it looked very nice. Yeah.
Part of what I might dislike about the darkness and the grittiness, it could be just the bad quality that I'm watching it on.
It was really nice. All the scenes were clear. I don't know if it was 16 millimeter or 32. Was it 35? Yeah, because I mean some of it looked a little grainy, but I mean not. You know, it was way better than the VHS.
Not a lot of lights, so they probably had to strain to get the exposure, then push it a little bit, but. You know, it's I was just gonna say that it I lost my train of thought. How embarrassing. But yeah, I did enjoy it quite a bit. Oh, I was just gonna say this. The magic of holiday horror, right? Because I bet you other people were watching this month.
Yeah.
Where there's many a horror movie that's just normal you know, normal slasher, normal something.
Like Humongous. You have no reason to watch Humongous every year, but you do have a reason to watch Christmas Evil every year.
Yep. And people want to get any sort of Christmas movie on their bones. It's going to be comedy. It could be a Disney movie. It could be anything. But the interest in this just spikes every December, and it's a good reason for us to try to make some holiday something at some point, because every year it comes around, you can promote it and everyone's in the mood, they're receptive to it.
It's true. That's a good point.
And last point, listeners, look, there's like 30 to 50 of you, according to the stats, and you've been listening for free for all this time. Buy a copy of Slingshot Cops. We made an amazing movie. It's spectacular. Go to moturnmedia.com, go to the store, buy Slingshot Cops. It's a great movie. You won't regret buying it. But even if you do, it's the least you can do to pay us for what we've done. So So
we could give him a shout out or something on the next one or two. No promises, but perhaps if one were so inclined and wanted it.
If you want to if you bought it and you listened to this podcast and you want a shout out, just let me know. 603-644-0048. We'll do that. But hey, it's time for you guys to pay up and by buying the greatest movie of 2016. So it's a win-win situation. For Tom and Charlie, this is Farley saying good night.